Hey folks, Kozzi here, drafting for Pick 1 Pack 1 and doing our final video for this Praxis mid-range deck. I presume that if you've been coming to this video, you've seen the previous two, so not much point in recapping. There's been no changes. It's just a case of hope that we curve out and we can take advantage of our opponent being slow. We're missing Fire here for the best start. We still have a Bold Adventurer and some things to do with her, which could tempt me, especially as this is a good 2-drop. But I think I'd rather just take a redraw and go for the chance at a more playable hand. I don't know, I don't love this one. We'll have to draw into something decent. That's not too bad actually. We can take some early aggro here. The Stranger will hold them back hopefully, or at least take a trick out of their hand. This looks like it's going to be a psychotically fast Ricano deck. He's definitely got a trick of some description. And that torch also reassures me some. And so yeah, it looks like, to answer the first question, who's on the beatdown? They're very clearly on the beatdown. So we just want to slow everything down as much as possible. Could be an argument made for taking the attack here. If they have a trick and they play it, we can get it out of their hand and punish them with a torch. Yeah, I'll pay it. I don't want to get so aggressive as to Predator's Instinct and try and ping something right now. I do want to respect that they have something. And this is worth bolting down in my opinion. Okay, I misplayed that. Do we still take the block? I think we do. So what I should have done is blocked. Undoubtedly they would have tried to play the pump, and then I could have bolted it in response. So that was a bad play on my behalf. We'll attack in. I don't think they're going to want to trade, but I'm happy to offer it. Worst case scenario, they'll say no and I get 2 damage in. Yeah, that was a bad play. Sorry about that, folks. I really should have been thinking through that a little bit more. I think I just clicked into autopilot after doing a few games in a row. And sure, you get your 3 damage in. Now we're going to seriously think about holding back to offer it up a double block. And by seriously think, I think I pretty much mean that's what I have to do. There's no point in giving Instinct and trying to mess around there. I'll be killing my whole board for nothing. And we are only 1 power away from getting this dragon in. What I do want to do, however, is to take my opportunity to get rid of this Valkyrie. This is the kind of card that will kill us out of nowhere. Sure, I take the 7 damage for this turn. And so now I have an interesting choice or two. If I'm to ever block here, I can use my burnout to kill it. Although I imagine if I attack in to try and force it, he'll just double block here. So I think instead, I'm even happy to consider a double block here, and this guy will soon become too big for them to deal with. Hopefully he bricks on this particular draw step. Makes our life easier. How much do I want to respect that he has a combat trick? Probably a lot. There's absolutely no point in losing here if he has a torch. I think we kill the Ferocious Stranger now. That's a fast spell, so I can wait, but if I wait, there is a risk that he'll draw a piece of equipment. So I don't think I want to wait here. If I attack in, he'll just block. Yeah, we'll finish that now. And we'll wait until next turn to turn this guy into an 8/8. That's good news for us. He's attacking in because it's a free war cry. Fair call. And if we're really lucky, we'll draw a weapon, so that way I don't have to expose this guy at all to any risk. So I know we have at least one other Guardian in our deck. We have a couple of other big creatures. That represents, what, 7 damage? So I can afford to attack in here without fear. If he gets another creature, I have a problem though. So I think what we'll do is see how many cards I can draw, and if anything it is useful. And we'll just empty our hand and represent the biggest board state possible. Whilst Harsh Rule is possible, this doesn't look like a Harsh Rule deck. Is that a fast spell? No, it's just a spell. So if that's the case, we'll use it now, so that way we can keep attacking in. And that's great news for us. It means that we're open up now to attacking around him. I think he was in a spot where he had to consider doing it. This makes me think that he has a Finest Hour. If he does and I double block, then he'll just play it and I can attack in for 8 and I've gotten it out of his hand. If I block here and he pays it, he trades and I attack and get him down to 8. He could be bluffing and have a creature. I think we can afford to take once. And we could afford because he had a combat trick rather than a creature, which meant that we were attacking back for lethal. So there we go, we're into the platinum, which is nice news. Let's continue on and see just how many platinum chests we can get. If he did have a combat trick, I wonder if he was better off for staying back and setting up a trade. Because that's what he had to be representing in that moment, and he would have represented it just as well by sitting back. These are awkward in hands with 2/2s, but we have our power and we have spells, so I think this is a must keep. And also we have 2 drops, which is especially important. Probably the worst draw for us right now, because it's going to be taking a long time before this actually becomes a valid card in the matchup. Whilst this is one of the few things we can get a reasonable trade on, the 1 damage clock isn't scaring me, so I'm happy to sit and wait. No point attacking into death. So it looks like this is clearly a flyers based deck. And that's how it's going to beat me with its clock. So him giving strangers flying is interesting because it gives me flying. He's tapped out and he's expended a lot of resources. Perhaps just javeling in here is the best, that way I can get an attack in. Even if that gets flying, I still have the predator's instinct to deal with it. Otherwise I could be playing my stranger and thinking about what I want to do with these. But I think I'd rather save them. Without the war cry, this is a single use item, so we might as well use it to get something relatively juicy. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. And I think I'll keep my stranger back just to stop 1 point of damage. And at least now we're 1 turn behind on a 3 for 3 damage race. I also need to respect the fact that he could have Lightning Storm. And that isn't bad for me, because when I use my Predator's Instinct, she actually isn't going to be strong enough to... I think I have to trade here. Because that's way too much damage for me to deal with. And we may even need to consider using Predator's Instinct over here. 3 damage is a 5-turn clock. Yeah, it's a real feel bad, but I just need to slow down this clock. Because all of a sudden a 1 damage clock doesn't scare me, whereas a 3 genuinely does now that I'm at 14. And it looks like they've run themselves pretty hard out of resources. I need to ask myself how likely it is that they have Lightning Storm. Perhaps because this is a fair while off, I should keep this back. However, I could draw those 6/5 guys that I'd be able to cast next turn if she's down. But that is only 2 out of 30, so 1 out of 15 chance. I think I get totally blown out if I lose my whole hand that I can reasonably cast right now, so even though it'd be nice to play around drawing that card, I think for now I just need to represent a faster clock than what they have and try and get pressure on to reduce their draw steps. A 4-turn clock is 4, whereas a 6 is 3 attacks, which is significant. Especially as if they keep back the blocker at any stage. That one hurts a fair bit. Do I want to be equipping up one of these guys to attack in and seeing another card? Yeah, I think I do. And now I can start to threaten to attack wider. This will also probably mean that they hold the Herald back. Okay, they got the execute. By using targeted removal, I can safely assume that they don't have the Lightning Storm. If I'm to attack in, they'll get a free chump block, and I'll be doing 4 damage, taking them to 8. Then next turn, I'll be doing a free chump, another 4, taking them to 4. I think I've got time to wait 1 more turn. before committing with everybody in. And if I'm really lucky, I'll draw the sigil this turn. Then they'll be more than forced to block. Unlike last time, I am willing to expose myself because all I have to do is draw 1 power, and I want to be able to play this on the turn that I get it. I don't want to be sitting around for 1 extra stupid point of damage in the air that is just picking away from me. Okay, what are you going to bring back? Probably something with flying, probably the Blood Beetle. Alrighty, so we want the power. We don't get the power. What we do get though is a free Warcry. This is a fast spell. Yep, fast spell. Oh, jeez. You're having a backlash in an aggressive deck. Well, that's surprising, but it's effective. So now I basically need to draw a power or die. Okay, so we've stabilized. Unless they have a removal. Do you have it? Kill target creature. Make target opponent cry. Sure. So if we would have had that on the previous turn, he still probably would have cast it, because I think he was holding that for quite some time. So it was really the negate that hurt there. Well, there you go. That was my Combre midrange deck. Yeah, weird card to lose to. He looked way too aggressive to be running a counterspell. Such is the way of things. Not very exciting premium card from our deck. We'll see if we get anything better from our packs. Stand Together is nice. I've been playing a fair few combo Arga decks that can use that. Okay, so nothing super exciting. Well guys, thanks for watching. My name's Kozzi, and I've been drafting for Pick 1 Pack 1. Interesting series, really. I think we had 2 solid matches, and the rest were really decided by Power Screw or Flood. And I hope that's not indicative of future videos, but we'll see how we go. Funnily enough, I think this video from those 2 matches ended up taking about the same amount of time as my first 3. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope that this has been interesting for you. And that there's something you can take away. If so, feel free to leave a comment in the video comment section. And yeah, I've been Kozzi, drafting for Pick 1 Pack 1. Thanks again. See you around.